Think about what message your coat is giving, and it doesn't need to be giving, please don't look at me, I'm as big as I can be to cover up the person wearing me.
Yeah.
Don't give that.
Yeah.
You can go out and you can be a lot more fun with your coats. There's lots of coats out there. What are we going to wear? Why do I think this is important?
Because it's freezing outside.
No, that's not the reason. I just think that people don't think long and hard enough about their outerwear. We think we can just put on something and run out the door. Well, guess what? It's not true. It's not true, because you're gonna leave that thing on and it needs to be prettier. So I've got 5 tips to putting on a better coat. I have a dark story from my childhood to tell you. My mom had this coat, and all 4 of the kids, when she would come out in the coat, we all were very upset because she looked like a German soldier from World War II. It was horrible. Her favorite color was beige, so she would wear this like ugly beige coat that was really long, wrapped around the middle, had the high collar, and she was just one goose step away.
Was it a trench coat?
No, it was this big heavy wool coat. It was horrible. And every time she came out, we were all like, she's got the German coat on. So ever since then, I'm triggered by coats. Do you ever think about coats?
I never think about coats. If I can get away without having to take a coat with me, I will, because why? I don't want to have to keep up with it.
Oh, I'm totally with that. When my boys were in junior high, I'd buy them nice little coats to wear. They'd wear shorts and no coats and basically run into the school. I understand that part, but let's just say you have to wear it, okay? Let's say you're out and you have to.
Well, it's been 0 degrees chill factor here, so in these temperatures, yes, you have to.
But we might wear those coats if A, they looked better, B, they fit better,
and didn't
C,
make you look like a cow?
Yes, and if they had a different cut to them. There are a lot of options. Raincoats, I think raincoats are very important. Puffer jackets, the long wool coats, and you have the short wool coats, and a trench coat. Those are really your options right there. And the question is, when are you gonna wear them? What are you gonna do? I personally have one of each. I might have 2 or 3 of each. You can get puffer coats on Amazon right now for nothing. I have a sleeveless puffer. I love it because I don't feel so constricted, and I feel like what's really cold is being kept warm.
But does it keep you warm?
It does,
because
you can wear a sweater underneath it. See, a lot of my problem, you hate feeling fat in these big coats. That's because you have on these big, thick sweaters, then you put on a coat.
Yeah.
I don't think you need both.
Okay.
If you're outside, you just need your coat. Once you get inside, the temperature is very regulated. You don't need to be wearing these really heavy sweaters. I say just wear the really good heavy coat. You can wear a trench coat that has a lining. You can actually wear the trench coat without the linings and sort of carry that on into maybe spring or early fall. You have a lot of options. Don't think you're gonna wear that one coat that's gonna do all the things, because I'm telling you, I saw that German coat in a lot of different situations. It just wasn't working.
I'm guilty of wearing the same coat for everything, unless it's over Sunday clothes, and then I'll bring out my long wool coat.
There you go. That gets us to number 2. How long is the coat going to be? I prefer sort of a car coat length, and car coat would be what hits you probably mid-thigh. That is so much easier to get around in.
That's basically what I have all the time.
Yes, and most of us wear pants now. Very rarely are you in dresses or skirts. That's when you would wear your long wool coat, and that's usually going to be, these days, at a dressier occasion.
Right.
Even in the office, you don't wear dresses very often. Maybe at a wedding, maybe you're going to church or to temple, maybe a cocktail party, and you want to wear something that will cover your legs more because you're going to be colder. You don't really need that when you're wearing pants. So you have a lot more options, and I would say I'd get sort of a long waist coat or a car coat. And that can take care of about 50 to 60% of your heavy duty cold weather needs. Number 3, what style? This is where I would say at this point, maybe you should lean into the classics, because we don't like to buy coats every year. They're usually a higher
I wear
ticket
my
item.
coats for years.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that one later. They are usually a high ticket item. You can, with puffer jackets, as I said earlier, and maybe even some rain slickers, go with something a little bit cheaper, but you still are going to be spending a little bit more. I would say get something a little bit classic as opposed to a little bit boho, unless you're going to go really inexpensive with it and get it off of an Amazon. I personally love a wraparound coat as opposed to a button-up, because if it's wrapped around, you can at least cinch your waist, which makes you look like you possibly have a shape. And that's always a good thing, because those big old coats, they're horrible. They hang straight down, they're kind of bulky. Try to find something that's a wraparound. They usually do have hooks that'll keep them closed, but the tie allows you to pull it in and give you a little bit of a waist.
I like the zip up.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. 4, make sure this coat fits. Because it's a coat doesn't mean it has to be 12 sizes larger than you normally would wear. I understand that you might be wearing a thicker sweater underneath it. Remember, if you're just out walking around, let's say you're sightseeing or going to the grocery store, you will not be taking this coat off. So you can wear just a regular shirt underneath, and the warmth will come from the coat itself, and you're going to be leaving that
You
on.
don't have to layer up.
You don't. So don't buy these ginormous coats. They're uncomfortable to wear. They are uncomfortable to drive in. You feel like the Marshmallow Man when you're driving because everything's so full. Go with something that actually fits you. You will be so surprised how much better that coat looks if you actually get your size.
And do you tell by the way it fits you in the shoulder or the way it fits you around?
It's both. And make sure the armholes fit, that they're not too tight.
That you can lift your arms
Yes,
up.
let's say you are at the grocery store. You've got to be able to reach and put stuff in your car. You've got to be able to move in the coat. So yes, make sure the length is where you want it to be. Don't skimp on length. Don't skip on length of the sleeve. That needs to be proper. You will not be folding these up. That needs to be a good solid length. That'll hit you around the wrist bone. The other size issue you need to worry about is shoulders. I have very broad shoulders. I have a hard time finding jackets that'll fit my shoulders. Make sure that the edge, if there is an edge, and some have a good rounded edge, which is very helpful for people like me, but if you have a true seam right here, just make sure it doesn't come shorter than the end of your shoulder. 5, this is my favorite. Color, color, color. I'm gonna guess what color her coat is. Let's see, black. Is it?
All of them.
Why? Why would we wear a black coat?
No, I do have one red puffer.
There you go. I'm telling you, color is your friend when you are buying a coat, because it usually stays on, and when you're walking around, you might look just a little bit happy instead of like you're going to a funeral. I don't understand the black coat. I don't. The only thing I can think of when one wants to have a black coat is that they're trying to buy something that will maybe hide dirt.
Black slims everything.
Wrong answer.
Let me just say, there are some gorgeous colored coats out there. If I was buying a coat for you, it would probably be navy or a light
I don't
blue.
wear a lot of navy.
It doesn't matter. You're just wearing this on the outside of your clothing, and your black pants are going to stick out from the bottom. That's it. I mean, think about that. I wear a lot of beige and gray. I like for my basic outfits, I'll have one little pop of color, but I like to wear just sort of a monochromatic look a lot. I love one brightly colored thing, and I think that the coat can be the thing.
One of my hesitations about getting any light colored coat is that I tend to get makeup on it. And then there's always makeup on the collar.
Don't wear the ones with the raised collars. Wear one that has a laid down lapel. You won't have that issue with that. You'll still have your shirt on the outside.
Okay.
And you can cross over and just have the lapel sort of do a cross, which is really nice. I look good in a really deep nutmeggy caramel color. That's a good color for me. So I have a short car coat that wraps at the waist, has a really big lapel collar, which kind of covers the shoulders so that it's easier for my shoulders to be fit. And it's that really good color that I think I look better in, instead of wearing a black or a navy. I can't really wear those. Ann Taylor carries good colored coats. Banana Republic sometimes carries some good colored coats. Land's End carries some really good coats. would say also get online with department
They
stores.
seem to have a lot of options.
They do, and they really have good prices. We're currently in January. That is one of your best times to buy a coat. It's after Christmas, and the prices are starting to come down, and you can get some really fun coats. You would look great in a light blue wool coat. That would be just gorgeous.
Okay.
You would. It'd look great with your eyes. I think you'd be great like in a purple or a lavender. That keeps you from having to worry about scarves or having to do anything to dress up what you're wearing. It dresses itself up.
Okay.
A friend of mine, I love her coat, and it's got a really unique cut to it. It's not a unique color, but it's got a very unique cut to it. She just had to run to the vet, and she just threw the coat on and a cute baseball hat, and was wearing, she said, probably the ugliest clothes you could possibly imagine underneath. She said, you know what? I still felt like I was put together and I was finished, and I knew I wasn't taking that coat off. And in most cases, you're not when you're out and about. I have a trench that I wear a lot because it's not so heavy like a wool coat, and it keeps me warm. And I'm going from basement to car to parking garage.
And in Nashville, we don't really need a lot of heavy coat.
No, we don't. It's not a beige trench because I look horrible in a beige trench. It's a rust-colored trench. I got it on sale, and I know I did because nobody wants a rust-colored trench except for a redhead.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect color for someone like me. And I can't tell you how many compliments I get on that coat all the time because it was the perfect color for me. All you have to do is think a little bit outside of the box and choose a color that has a little bit more personality than the charcoal and black wool coat. There are a lot of options out there.
Didn't you buy a trench coat when we were in New York one time?
I did.
What was that? And do you still wear it?
I wear it all the time. I love that coat, and it's a belted trench. I just like to cinch the waist if I can.
Yeah.
Now I don't have much of a waist, but I can make myself look like I have a waist if I pull that belt, and it hits me right at the hip bone.
Yeah.
I wear it a lot with jeans. I do not like to wear long coats unless it is just unbelievably cold because they are so uncomfortable to get in and out of cars. They get in my way. So I think the shorter coats are better. And if you get them now when so inexpensive, you might be able to get maybe a couple. Maybe you get the one that you have to wear to the funeral, but get something kind of fun. You'll want to wear that more. It's a lot happier. So how about we get rid of those winter doldrums and try to have some fun with a little bit of color?
Okay.